Hey there, welcome back guys. In this video we're going to be going over the snowblower. That's right, you're probably thinking, wait, what? Snowblower? As if you've been following me, I told you guys we're going to do the snowblower and the lawnmower. We already did the lawnmower, I believe, but we haven't done the snowblower. And why do it in the winter when you can do it in the spring or summer or even fall, right? And just have it ready to go when you need to get rid of the snow. And in this particular case, the pads need to be replaced. Right, so the pads are actually right here. Kit I got over a year ago because I wasn't sure if they were going to sell everything again. So hopefully it fits because I won't be able to return it. But this is for the Toro 21-inch power clear, and the pads go in. As you saw, we just cleaned everything. We're going to show you how to clean it really quick before we get going. But come, let's get started. Let's get this thing ready to go so that when we have snow, the car will have some place to go. Okay, so after the winter, you really want to clean it, even if you don't plan to change the pads on this. But you'll notice like there's a lot of salt and corrosion that builds up, and it just will lengthen the lifespan of the snowblower, and it's going to make it a much easier task when trying to move the pads, because then all the salt will get on your hands and things get grimy, and it's just not easy. So just using regular soapy water then from the kitchen sink, I think it's Myers or something. It's got a lot of suds. It's hard to believe this whole natural soap actually is able to do what it needs to do. Then we just hose it down in the end, let it dry overnight. And once it's dry overnight, or if it's a hot summer day, you're ready to go. Kind of neat, huh? So we got all the salt off. It's clean to some extent because I'm pretty sure as we start taking off the bolts, it will, we might get some little corrosion happening or some saltiness that should be on your margaritas and not the blower, but that's okay. We did as much as we could, so let's get started. Removing the blades. Again, remember, this is it right here. I'll leave a link to this in the description. Hopefully they still sell it. But this is we're also going to replace this part right here. It's called the scraper. And you'll see that this scraper needs to be replaced. And I'd say every 2 years, or it depends on where you live, and how much snow you get. Last year we got 3 or 4 really good snow days to put this to use. And the year before, more than you can imagine. And with global warming, if it really does exist, it's going to be hit or miss, and you'll have to decide. And again, it's not really the weather that's going to make or break the experience. It's going to be when you see your pads. So come, I'll show you how to check your pads. If you don't have stairs, you don't go crazy looking for stairs. Just do it with what you can. But for me, this is more of a convenience, so I can get it off the ledge as far as possible without it tipping over, of course. And you can see there's a little bit of rust happening in there, but that's okay. We could probably take that out or not take it out. It's the choice is yours. It's up to you. We could probably spray it. So I have this little wrench tool, and it's using the 7/16, depending on your metric system, might be a different one. So we have a 7/16 thing here, right? See that? And that goes in there, and then we're just going to attach that onto here. Okay. And then you're going to need something to hold the bolt, which would be a 7/16 too, a little mini wrench. And so, depending on the experience, you may have to tilt the snowblower back, or move it in some, right? So the blade is as close as can be so that it turns. See? So what you're going to do is you're going to put one, let's say here, to hold it, right? And then you're going to put, so this one's holding, and remember the kit, I don't think the kit comes with new bolts. You're going to have to reuse these. And then you just turn it, right? You hold it and you turn it like that. See? You see the salt coming off. Oops. Which is fine. And then you take the other 7/16, okay? And then start turning it. And then it'll turn. And you should be able to turn it by hand. And then, oh, bummer. Looks like these are not going to be easy to pull out. Oops. So once they're out, right? Oh, somewhat easy. But I'm going to leave them in so that everything's even, because I want to undo one on this side. So you have over here, and then turn it. Yeah, now it's turning. Thankfully, we'll be using new bolts after this. Almost there. Well, now this is just one. We still have another one. And it's this one, I think you can, once it's loose, you can just start turning it by hand. Let it drop. Put it with the other bolts on the side. Doesn't matter because they're going to give you new ones. And now we have one more. Oh, this one's easier though because look, it's right there. And you can just fit the tool right in. See that? And then just start turning. And if you have the bit, right, in the perfect world, not a bad idea, right? Just wasn't sure. Whoops, lost one screw. If the screw falls, that's okay. Just leave it and pop it out. So now we're gonna pop this out. I'm gonna make sure the bolts match because you never know, you might need to use these spare parts, right? You're like, oh no, where did it go? Why did I do what I did? Just in case. What we're going to do is we're going to remove the centerpiece, not the whole thing, but just, remember we're only doing one at a time, just these two bolts right there. Turn it, or just tilt it back. All right. This one we know for sure. We're going to need the other tools, and then just remove the other part, and then just turn it. See? Turn it until it just comes off. This part's easy. This part you gotta love. And then we'll remove them both at the same time. All right? And then we'll just do that one. Now, oops. Now you can pop them both out. Sometimes, oh wow, they'll just push right out. See that? And then just remember, before you start working on other parts, do this. See how they're corroded? So even if you don't change your pads because they're not needed to be changed, it might be ideal to change them anyway. So because the screws get rusted and corroded, they're going to be even harder to remove. See that? So we're going to take this out and place the new one in the same way. Okay? If that makes any sense. Here's the new pad. Right? I'll put it over here so that you guys can see. I'm just going to bring up the camera. So, see? The new one. Brand new. And the holes. See that? Look at that. Holes are amazing. So it doesn't matter. Whoops. Rhyme or reason. This part, right, has to go on the inside. So we're going to do it like that. So this part, see, it goes like that. Inside. You'll see, I'll show you. So I'm going to lay this here. See how that lip, the line, see how the line, and then it's thicker inside right there. There's like another, like a half, a quarter of an inch, like going like that. So that quarter of an inch, right, if you see right there, that part right there. And you just do the same thing with this one. See that? So we know that that's how it goes. So we're going to pull this out now that we have this one ready to go. Oh wow, amazing. Ready to, oh, cobwebs building up in there. Little spider eggs, they haven't hatched yet. This goes in like that. Now it's probably going to be, it's not going to go in as fluidly as you want it to. And actually, yeah, they do match. I was going to say, you might want to put one pad on top of the other. Get that in. So you could always get the first part in, right? Which is this one. And then work your way and do the other ones around, because you're going to have to really get in there, right, in the nitty gritty. So let's do that. Of your little plastic thingy right here, inside your little kit. See that? Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to get these bolts. Oh, that's a big one. I'm not sure what. Hopefully they didn't send me two. Just these two. I'm not sure what the long one is. Oh, the long one's probably for the middle. Maybe we'll replace that too. Since, as you can see, there's corrosion building up in them from just over time, snow, water, etc. So we're just going to do two. And you just get them ready. Get one ready. See that? Just have it somewhat ready. Oh, wow, interesting. I guess they don't turn all the way. Look, I guess they're designed to just go on and turn and just lock. instead of going all the way in and down. Okay, knowing that and moving forward, we're gonna put one through the hole. I'm just gonna, as you can see, we gotta put this in like that. Just pop them in. They go right in, sort of. But they should, eventually they go in. They're both pretty much the same on both sides, but one side is a little bit edged, so use the not so sharp part to push in so it goes right through. And the same thing with the other side. Use the nut so like it's rounded a bit, and then you just push it right through. It'll seed right through. And if you do it on the harder part, it's not going to work. Okay. And then we just put it in. This, find the hole, and then push it through. And we know it's in. And then we find the other hole. Okay. Oh wow, interesting. And then we're just going to find the other hole and push the other one through, as you can see. In case you're wondering, see, we're just going to put it through the hole. And this part's tricky because remember it's new, because you don't want to strip them. Oh, nice, that one turned. Don't lose them. But then again, if you do, you have the other ones. As long as you took them off, you're just holding the bolt like that. See that? And then turning it with the socket wrench until it locks. Except you gotta flip it the other way. And hopefully in the perfect world, nice, it should turn and start seating. See? Sort of. Bummer. It's turning. Yep. Got it. Nice. And then you do the same thing with the other one. Remember, this is for new guys, and guys that just don't want to break the bank, and you do it yourself. So again, we put this on there like that. Remember, it's holding it right there, and then hold it, and then lock it in. Whoops, not with that. With this. All right. It's a 7/16. And you just keep turning it until it locks. Yep, it's definitely on there, and it's not going anywhere. Okay, this part might be a little bit tricky, but we have to find that right angle to get it in. Right, once they're pushed in, find the hole, and you get one. Just put it like that, right? And you might have to seed. I would probably recommend putting them all through the hole, because as you saw how hard that was to put in. So let's see that? I'd recommend pushing them all through. Yeah, so that you know that they all went in. Just push them in, and then we'll get to the other part later in a bit. Like that. Seed it all the way through. And then the same thing with this one, in case you're wondering. See? I'm just going to seed it all the way through. And then we'll do this side first so that it comes right through there. All right? That's the tricky part. So first, you probably want to do the bottom, right? And then work your way onto the top. And if that doesn't work, what you could do is you can turn that and do it that way, so the weight's not on it. Got it. Now this part's going to be tricky because you really want to make sure they're on there, and if you've ever used this snowblower before, parts do fall off if they're not. Put another one on. So now we'll do something similar to before. We're going to use a socket wrench, and remember the 7/16. Watch your parts. If you need to stop and then bag them, do that, because you'll spend more time searching for them later, or on the internet trying to order new ones. You will get your hands dirty, Not too tight, because remember, we want to leave room for the other side to be just as even. So we can turn it, and then once they're all on, that's when we go full throttle. And then again, we do the same thing with the other side. We're gonna have to move stuff out of the way. And then we got, take that bolt, put it on the other side. It's right there. I'll show you this side since you didn't get to see the other side. So this, see, because the other one won't, this part won't work, kind of like strips it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold that like that, lock it, and then do it by hand like that. Whoops. There. And then the other one's going the other way. See? Oh wow, I can see the pad being brought in some. Kind of cool. See? This one's going to be tricky because, as you know, it's a tight spot, and even if we took that off, it doesn't really matter, because unless, oh no, we can't do it. I was going to say there must be a way. Could use the Allen key to hold it as you push it through. Right? Whoops. But that doesn't really work. Just gotta use your fingers to get it in there. Unless that part, this whole thing came off. You might. But I really, honestly, I really don't want to take the whole thing apart. I just want to limit that experience. Unless maybe you have to, right? Unfortunately. Unless there's like a gap in there. No. No gap. We got that one in, but that side's a little bit wider, you know. That's why we got that one in. And even if we flip, let's see if we can flip it over. We don't want to flip it over too much because we don't want the gas to drip out. See? Oh, that's water, not gas, because we power washed it. But unless, right in there. Okay, let's see. No, still not wide enough. And even unless it's in there. Let's see. See, my fingers are too big to get in there. I might have to take that off. I was hoping not. We really don't want to take this thing apart. All right, we'll figure it out. You know what? Let's do this. Yeah, so I'm gonna take tape, right? And let the tape hold it in. We only need to see one side. And if you have another way of doing this, do share, and please make a video, because as you know, this will have to be done again. See, and now it's on there. Remember, we can't put it in here because it strips it. Why, I don't know. But now we can push it in the way it needs to go. Lock it. Right. Or we could reuse that, I'm not sure. Now we just keep turning. Make sure it's on correctly too, because if you don't want the pads to be on wrong, meaning with that quarter inch part lip facing the way it's supposed to face. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do this again. We want it to be evenly tight all the way around. So now we're just gonna do that one. It might be able to be turned this way. That's okay, we got this. See that? We got you covered, and you save money. I think they charge like $200 to do this at the, don't get me wrong, if you have the luxury of having this done for you by the guy or girl, because there's actually women that do this in my town too, to do this, do it, but just know it's not going to be free. Hey, maybe I'll do that. I'll be like, hey, I'll change your pads for you for like $150 to $200. Nice. Yep, now that's tight. See? Voila. And then just check the other side. Okay. Oops. You want to check these just to be sure that you are good to go. So we just, do the same thing. Check the bolts, because on the leather side, it's not going to turn because it's just hard to turn in the leather. All right. So now, yeah, that's in there. Nope. See how it's turning? Just want it to be tight like the other one. Wow. Yeah. All right. Yep, now we just check the other one. And that's it. Sort of. Oh, we got another one. Alright. This one I can definitely tell you is going to be loose because I don't see the tip of the bolt. And after this, I'm going to take a break, let the camera cool off, because normally we're using the Osmo Action 4. It's not really optimal camera for doing how-to videos, but I like the way the HD footage comes in. The iPhone, don't get me wrong, does do well, but for some reason the autofocus thing, it's hard to shut off. It's always like self-correcting all the time. Whoops. Whoa. Yes. Watch your parts and your camera. Make sure you got a protective lens on there, which I do, and it's inside the case because, as you saw, things will go flying. Even though it's not a flying video, apparently tools just somehow develop wings of their own. Great. So we got one, which is awesome. So now we're going to do the same thing with the other one. Remember, keep your parts because you just might not know if you may need them again. There's bolt 1, right? And then bolt 2. And then you just pull it out. This part's the least of your worries. That can go there. And then what we can do is we can turn it. Okay. And this is great because we'll be able to clean the fluid, the rusty part. And then we just hold it. See? And it won't turn easily. Moving forward, once we get the bolt out, we can wipe it. Looks pretty good if you ask me. Look, the rust eliminator spray is actually working. All that rust is like just coming off. Watch if I wipe it. See? Wow. Remember how it was before? Look at that. Amazing. And if I left it on longer, if I left it on a little bit longer, I'm pretty sure it would probably look even more phenomenal. Thing. Okay. So in there, see that spring? It goes right. And I'll see if I can put it back on. Yep. Yeah, you can put it back on. Just want to make sure it's in the hole, and it's not in the hole right now, but it goes on like that. There it is. Got it. See? Once you do that, good luck getting it back in. But you're gonna have to get it in once you do that. We should be able to just pull this out, right? See? Oh wow! See, it just comes right out. Watch the springs. Lay it down the way it's gonna go back in, because what we want to do is we want to put the springs in, right, exactly the way it's gonna go back, so that we don't have to work. And you want it to be identical. So knowing that, and moving forward, so we're going to take this one out, see, and then put this one in, see, and then do this one. Same thing with the other one. Okay. We're gonna, oops, just want to finagle the camera so that you guys, remember, you're going to be doing this too. You're saving $300. Maybe you might want to buy a new bicycle for your kid. Maybe you're saving up for a new something, you know. So you can do it yourself and then just loop it around. All right. Now we can replace it. Not replace, but we're just going to put the dirty one over there. And then now, in the perfect world, now the hardest part is going to be getting in there to get that part in or on. All right, so knowing that, moving forward, you know what needs to be done. I don't think we can get the camera in there, but you get the idea. I'll show you it when it's done, because you're going to have to do this too, okay? So in the meantime, that one is easier to do. It's the other side that's not. Oh, I smell the gas. So, as you can see, the hole is right there. Right? I might be able to do this one with the camera. See the hole? And then it's a spring. And if you can somehow, I wonder if I can put the camera like that, right? Because you really have to hold it. Otherwise it's not going to go in. And, well, see, even if you get it in, you got to make sure. It goes into the hole and not get caught latched on. Right, because we are golden. We got all the parts in that need to be in its special little spot and place. So we're gonna have a little bit of a 3D approach, right? That part right there. So we're just gonna put the bolt in on the side, all right, and do the same thing as we did before, but in reverse. And I think we could bring it in, all right, so right about there. So this will go here, right? We'll reverse it, oops, so that as we turn it, it starts to lock. You can definitely, see, tighten it. And just keep turning it. I got one. And of course, you'll have to do the same thing with the other side. It doesn't turn anymore. Enough. That's not going anywhere, especially that bolt like that. Look at that. Look at that. We got it. Now we got the scraper on. Kind of neat, huh? Got the rust off. We could have left it on longer, but it's okay. You know, it did what it was supposed to do. Got some spring-loaded action from behind. And now we can tilt it back down. Okay, so putting the other pad on is just the same as the other one. It's a little bit complex when doing the right side. Unless you have really thin fingers, but it's the same solution, putting a little bit of blue tape and on the wrench and then sliding it in. But in this case, we're just doing the middle of the pad. Remember, just tighten it, but leave it loose because you just want everything to be taut all the way around evenly. And sometimes that extra slack from it being loose will help you put the pad on the side, So, but the left side is so easy to put back on, like so easy, like you can just seat it by hand and then just get it in at the top and the bottom. Again, it's the right side that's a little bit more complex. Before we tighten everything, we want to make sure that we get the right side securely seated too. And then once you do that, as you can see, we're going to do the bottom one, and it's a little bit tricky, but the same thing with the blue painter's tape. If your hands are thin enough, or if you have kids that can just squeeze in there while you hold it, the more power to you, and that should work too. And again, it takes a couple of attempts, and as you can see, after maybe the 5th, 6th, or even 7th attempt, finally you get it. I did do it by hand. And then once you do that, then you start tightening everything. And once everything's tightened, you're golden. You're good to go, and probably for another 2 years with these particular parts. And hopefully you won't have to do it again. So here go all the old parts. As you can tell, look how much got used up. A lot, right? It was just ready to go. And then we have here the old scraper. It served its purpose. It was good for the time. Now, before we test it out, look, we got the rust out with the rust spray. Now we just have one more bolt to remove, which is the one in the center in here. So we just have to loosen it. And then now, always keep one underneath, remember, so that the other one doesn't turn. See what happens. Unlock it. No. Yeah, this is what it is, 7/16, in case you didn't hear with the train in the background. All right, there we go. Wow, that one's really in there. I feel it turning. But remember, everything gets corroded, so that's why we're replacing all the bolts, as you can see, because over time, one day, you'll go to take this off and it'll just be too corroded. And it's salty too. Saw some salt on there, remnants of salt. So we're just going to push that through. See? And then do the same thing as before. Put it in. Keep turning it. I'll leave a link to these tools in the description. That's tight. Just double check everything. Last thing you want are parts to fly off. And that actually happened one time. Not with these parts, but I'll show you which part came flying off. And I was basically in the snow looking for it, and I got lucky. Before we start this thing up to make sure it works, we need, because we don't want any sparks happening, because as you saw, everything dripped as we tipped it over here. There was oil. Yeah, oil there. Right? Oops. We have some oil there, so we're just going to pull this back. So the only thing I regret not doing is putting cardboard down. As you can see, when you tilt it back, it's going to drip no matter what, no matter how tightly sealed it is, which is normal. And the same thing happens with lawnmowers. When you tilt it, it will usually drip gasoline, I believe, into the filter. But in this case, you tilt it back, with a snowblower, it's going to drip oil onto the ground. So you just want to be prepared, to clean it up, or just have stuff ready, or just put cardboard down. If you order stuff from Amazon, the boxes are recyclable, so you can just, use that, put it underneath, and just make it wide enough and long enough so that when you tilt it back, you can just not have to do what I'm doing right here, which is just power washing everything. And if you power wash it in time, you'll get it. And I also have some other stuff. I'll leave a link in the description in case you accidentally forget the cardboard. You'll be able to get it out with some other stuff. That's it. You did it. As easy as 1, 2, 3, sort of. It was a bit of a nightmare in that little area where it was hard to get in. I think if you have thinner fingers or another tool or method that you could use to get it in there, you'll get it in. Just make sure all your bolts are tightened. That one particular bolt that was loose, it was as tight as could be, right? Really, as tight as could be. And then just over time, it comes off. And one winter I was snow blowing, and this particular part on this end, I just had to go looking for it. Then I gave up, and then One day I went outside, oh, it's right there. But just keep an eye out for that, tighten everything, and then we'll just see if it works, right? Remember, it was tipped over. Hopefully it's not flooded. That was oil that was dripping out. So we're just gonna pump it a little bit. Make sure the oil, check the oil. I checked the oil, it's fine. It's not dripping anymore because it was tilted back. Plenty of gas, not a lot, but I'll just winterize it. That special pink stuff. And then roll up your sleeves and start the engine. Well done. And now we just, don't pull that, but hopefully, oh, most likely half choke. Hopefully. Voila. Start. What we really want to see, right, is the motor turning. So we'll put this right here, right? Let's see if it spins. Yep. Voila. Check it from my end. And that's how you change the pads on the Toro Power Clear 721. Works great in the winter, and it'll work even better with those new pads. Anyway, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.